Have you ever heard this phrase? Most dark wizards come from Slytherin. Sound familiar? Like a mantra that's eaten deep into the brains of every Hogwarts student? Any kid wearing green robes gets stared at by the whole school. Yeah, probably gonna be Voldemort's lackey someday. But wait, what if I told you that Slytherin isn't a den of divils, but just the victim of the worst PR campaign in wizarding history? How would you react?
The first lesson? Labels are enough. A cold stone corridor, footsteps echoing like metal. A first-year boy just received the Serpent Badge. His eyes light up, but then, whoosh, the entire Gryffindor table turns to look, as if they just spotted a dangerous beast. Harry Potter shudders when the Sorting Hat whispers, "Slytherin would help you on your way to greatness." And Harry screams in his head, "No, not Slytherin, not Slytherin!" In that moment, the entire wizarding world cheers. That's right, the Snake House is evil! No evidence needed, no trial necessary, just a whisper from the hat. Here's the paradox. In adults' eyes, Harry is heroic for not entering Slytherin. But if you pause for a moment, you'll see an 11-year-old boy just learned his first lesson. Sometimes just being labeled is enough to make you the villain. If this were an HBO show, the camera would pan slowly along the Slytherin table, young faces, bewildered, being watched suspiciously by the entire Great Hall. Murmuring voices blend with heavy background music. You don't know who's good, who's bad yet, but you've already been taught to suspect them all. And that's just the opening scene. The Golden Prison. Look at Hogwarts through a different lens. A medieval fortress, bright with candlelight, but also full of shadows and empty corridors. And at the corner of the Slytherin table, young faces being scrutinized for every movement. We have Draco Malfoy, the platinum-haired aristocrat whose mouth is always twisted, as if the entire world owes him a greeting. There's Pansy Parkinson, who specializes in giggling whenever others get in trouble, as if Hogwarts were a reality TV show. And dozens of names you can't even remember, because both books and movies tell you, oh, they're Slytherin, that's enough, evil enough already. Strange, isn't it? A school praised for fairness, yet nurtures prejudice right within its own walls. McGonagall punishes Harry, Hermione, and Neville when caught sneaking out at night. 50 points from each. Stern, but still somewhat merciful. Cut to Snape catching Gryffindor students late for class. 100 points deducted, and an essay, 10 rolls of parchment. Cold, as if he just wants to crush the children. Camera pans along the Slytherin table. Gleeful looks, but also some confused kids, not knowing whether to laugh or worry. Every scene tells you Gryffindor, righteous, Slytherin, evil. Dumbledore smiles kindly at the hero house. Meanwhile, Snape, Slytherin's teacher, appears as public enemy number 1. But behind those potions classes reeking of sulfur, did anyone really ask, what do Slytherins learn besides ambition? Or does the whole school just teach them one thing? You're already villains. Don't waste effort trying to reform. This isn't just a house in a story. This is a label slapped right on 11-year-old children's foreheads, a predetermined sentence, a system that even the most skilled wizards turn a blind eye to. And when the whole school believes you're inherently evil, which path would you choose? Prove them wrong? Or live up to the villain role they've already written for you?
The self-fulfilling prophecy. This is where the story turns. You think Slytherin is evil? Well, they think so about themselves too. When the whole school, from Gryffindor to Hufflepuff, looks at you like a villain, it won't be long before you believe you were born to play the bad guy. One night, Harry is punished by Umbridge, writing, "I must not tell lies" in his own blood. McGonagall bows her head in silence. Snape stands coldly in the corridor, not intervening. During a potions class, some Slytherin boy is mocked by other house students. "You're all future Death Eaters." Snape hears it and remains silent. In a Quidditch match, a Ravenclaw student loses balance and nearly falls from his broom. A Slytherin boy rushes out to catch him before hitting the ground. The entire stadium applauds, but minutes later, rumors spread. He probably caused the accident on purpose to play hero. Those with the power to protect them do nothing. Even the kindest professors let it slide, because deep down they also believe. Oh, Slytherin, they deserve it. The most prestigious wizarding academy in Britain has taught a twisted lesson to an entire generation of students. If someone is labeled as evil, don't waste effort saving them. From then on, Slytherin children learn two things. First, the world is inherently unfair. Play by your own rules. Second, to survive, be more frightening than the rumors. And so, you get Draco Malfoy holding his head high, challenging every teacher. You get Blaise Zabini quietly despising both friends and enemies, and hordes of young students ready to join the dark side, not because they were born evil, but because playing the villain is the only way to stop others from trampling them. Hogwarts doesn't need Voldemort to turn Slytherin into villains. Just prejudice long enough, deep enough, the whole system will do his work. The real question is, who actually created these villains?
The abandoned children. Have you ever been hated to the point that, no matter what you do, people think you have ulterior motives? Try imagining your entire adolescence being like that. Slytherin isn't just a house at Hogwarts. It's a label, a giant neon sign hanging over each child's forehead. Beware, venomous snake. And when the entire system constantly repeats this, two types of people emerge from this wreckage. Those who are defiant, choosing to become as frightening as the rumors say. Those who submit, believing they're truly evil, even without doing anything. Look at those young faces. The Malfoy boy trying to appear proud. Little Daphne Greengrass pretending indifference. Blaise Zabini, just silent but always alert in his eyes. They learn not to trust anyone, not even themselves. Don't forget, prejudice isn't just something Gryffindor and Ravenclaw pour onto Slytherin. It seeps even into how professors treat them. Snape coddles his house students, letting them become spoiled because he also believes no one will give them better chances. McGonagall is stern to the point of coldness because she believes discipline is fair, but unwittingly turns a blind eye to the prejudice her own students spread. Dumbledore, he never even tried to change Slytherin's image. Just let them figure it out themselves. And here's the darkest message. When a child is told they're evil long enough, they'll start believing and acting accordingly. Slytherin doesn't produce villains. Hogwarts raised them to become villains. A Slytherin student sits alone in the dark common room, gripping their wand with trembling hands upon hearing news of approaching war. That's the moment you realize
They're not frightening because they're inherently evil. They're frightening because they've been abandoned too long to define themselves by darkness.
The mirror of our own pride. You see, this isn't just about wizards and schools. This is about any child who might experience this. We label someone as bad, then act surprised when one day they actually become bad. So the final question is Hogwarts admirable or just a sophisticated prejudice manufacturing machine? In the end, the question isn't, are Slytherins bad? But rather, how much have we needed a villain to blame? There's something interesting. After the Battle of Hogwarts, when the dust settled, no one mentioned that many Slytherin students had also fought, or at least hadn't surrendered to darkness. History is written by the victors, and Gryffindor, as always, had both the pen and the paper. Picture ruined school corridors, a blood-stained Slytherin scarf kicked aside by someone clearing the path. No monument erected for a Slytherin child who saved their friend. No medal hung in the Great Hall recognizing those names who chose to do the right thing. Only silence and a new layer of dust covering old prejudices. Have you ever seen the outside world being the same way? We like to pick sides, like to label. And above all, we need a Slytherin in real life to make ourselves feel more virtuous. Could it be that the inherent evil we assign to others is actually just a mirror reflecting our own pride? Slytherin might nurture ambition, but Hogwarts itself and we ourselves have nurtured prejudice. So, who's truly frightening? The snakes in the dungeon or the very system that believes it's always fair? Leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe to Fictional Depths so we can continue decoding characters who seem familiar but turn out to be very unfamiliar.